is a Stem Cell Institute for Regenerative Medicine. The larger mandate for CCAM has been to be the enabler in a way for stimulating innovation and entrepreneurship and enabling high-end technology and the what you say the research that happens in the field of life sciences and so on. Largely, the CCAM activity looks like this, where we have made an impact of around, we are connected with more than 1,500 startups, where we have led to around 775 new patents. Few products are in market already. Many of our startups are right now the globally leading organizations in terms of the innovation. And we have on our portfolio across India, we have 150 to 160 startups. The innovation efforts that we are trying to build with focus on has been A, maternal child health. B, as you know, it's a huge importance in many countries, and India and Brazil both have many similarities in terms of having good maternal child health. Antimicrobial resistance, which is a global phenomena, which is a very important aspect. Building new capabilities and innovations for public health, we clearly see that in such circumstances, the public health is a very important, where you can do a good epidemiology studies, you do other studies to understand how the spread of the health disease happen, and then you can build on it. We also have importance in agriculture, and we have collaborations with Brazil because of Pedro in Brazil for agriculture innovations. AI-driven biotech is something that we are very keen of in terms of artificial intelligence-driven biotech and affordable healthcare and clean tech. Largely, we have four components if you want to look at. One is seed funding, so where we identify new ideas and fund them. Then we have incubation, where we have furnished lab space for plug and play and access to high-end technology platforms. We have advancement for startups. So one is to pick early risky ideas and fund them and give them the lab. But once they start rolling a bit, how do you handhold them to make them successful is an important aspect. And last not least, we have Innovation Accelerator. So this is just one snapshot of CCAM startups that we have. Many of them are working in what would you call it as the therapeutics for drugs. Many of them are working in stem cell therapy. Many of them are working in devices. Some of them are working in agriculture, clean tech, and so on. At least 5 to 7 of CCAM companies right now are already in the US with their base for raising large amount of funds from US as well. This has been a trend of what we have done in terms of investment and what returns we have gotten. These are the few companies that I will quickly go through. C6 uses algae, the seaweed, to build what you say agricultural products. Kira uses microfluidics for diagnostics. Penderum uses stem cells for building mini liver as well as suturable cornea for the eye. Teramit is producing biologics, or what you would call it as drugs for oncology, but biological drug for immuno-oncology. Epigenics is developing new kits. And Koyo Labs has been ranked in one of the very top 50 startups by the Global Entrepreneur Week, and they also won the Commonwealth Award from the Innovation Award first number some time back. I wanted to go back to Koyo Labs a little bit later, just to give an example. I'll come back to them. CCAM startups have now been considered the top innovations coming out of India. And this is an example of it. This is the India's top business newspaper called Economic Times. And they have something called Innovator Award. And first time they gave the Innovator Award to a biotech startup. And instead they gave to two. and both of them were from CCAM. And that says that in National Innovation Award from this, going both CCAM startup, in says that scientific innovation is actually the key. We are building international collaborations here, as you can see with the Indian Prime Minister. We were we were together in the US. This was in San Francisco, San Jose, San Francisco Bay Area, with my alma mater, to collaborate on build an Indo-US Life Science Sister Innovation Hub. Just wanted to say that when you are building such innovations, you are building scientific temperament and innovation temperament in the country, which is very important. The reason it is very important is that the readiness of this scientific and innovation temperament allows you to respond to challenges like COVID. We all know that COVID has been a humongous challenge to many countries, including India and Brazil and other countries. And many of us did not know the scale, the timing, and how to prepare against this challenge. But that's where, if you have built the temperament over the years, it actually becomes, is easier to tackle such challenges. And that's what happened in India as we go forward. So CCAM launched an innovation deployment accelerator to identify the innovations which are in deployment ready, which were ready to be done, so that we can use them on the ground, because we realized that usual healthcare innovations which we were using from overseas were not available at this point of time because of availability of them, because completely diagnostic kits, ventilators are not available anywhere. And second is that, of course, lockdown, nothing was, even if available, it was not accessible. So it was very important to identify local innovations who can be now converted into impactful solutions on the ground. And that's what this accelerator by CCAM did. We had several collaborators here. And what we did over a month, we had around 1,100 innovations across India, which got submitted to this accelerator. And every week, we got 5 to 7 innovations we identified to bring out to what you would call it as the innovations which have stars for impact. So just to give you a perspective, every week we got it. And finally, we selected 31 innovations which we thought can come to the ground, can come to the field, can come to the humanity to serve. 17 of them now are on the ground in the field serving the humanity. So this is very, very important exercise that we did across India, and we are very happy that we could actually pull it off because of the connection and network across India. Just to tell you about a couple of them, and I will close out on that and happy to take questions when possible. We are now, right now, through this accelerator, because of some of the early work, we have a ventilator actually in the market, a non-invasive ventilator, which is by this particular company where my cursor is rounding, Koyo Labs. So now they have a non-invasive ventilator which can be used before what you would call it as a very severe condition. This can be used, which is intubation doesn't have. There is no invasiveness. It doesn't have the intubation. Rather, it has a non-invasive ventilator. It is in the market. It is validated and now serving the humanity. Similarly, we have now Kosara Diagnostics, which is a rapid diagnostic RT-PCR kit. It's an Indo-US company, which is now in the market, again, providing us very important rapid diagnostic kits and so on. We also have few more like preventative, a chemical which can be used on masks, which has antiviral properties. And those can allow you to use the mask many times so that you don't actually get exposed. By having it, you need a small spray kind of it, take a normal mask, spray on it, and it becomes an antiviral mask, which is as good as N95 mask, as we call it. So just within a month, within a week, we had a ventilator, a diagnostic kit, and a preventive capability. And this is the essence that we wanted to bring to the India as a nation, that within a week, we could actually bring them to top. Then we help them with approvals, funding, collaborations, and now 17 of them, as I mentioned, are on the ground. And this happened within a month of we starting this accelerator. So my essence before I close out, what I wanted to say is that while CCAM was working to build innovations over last 9 to 10 years, it became clearly rewarding that because there was readiness in the community, the ecosystem, people or the scientists could make a small change to their scientific plans and respond to these challenges when our traditional healthcare innovations, which come from outside, were not available to us. And that's a very, very important thing. I'll possibly close here. These are my coordinates for any queries. Happy to do it. I wanted to say here is that this is the right time for us to build collaborations for long term. We always build collaborations, but there should be collaborations for long term, which would allow us to leverage each other's capability. And Brazil and India definitely has a lot in common to build on. My email ID is here, Twitter or LinkedIn is here, and the website is there. Happy to take questions now as when the question answer session open, and happy to take any query on the email or other places as well. Thank you so much.